Hey everybody, Insane Mike here, host of Attack of the Killer podcast, here with a Patreon video for you guys. Decided to do something a little bit different than what normally is done for a Patreon video. I figured I would share with you my stupid human trick. I have one really useless, obnoxious talent, and that is the ability to play the 6 Degrees game. Now, what the 6 Degrees game is, for you kids out there who aren't familiar, back in the 90s, somebody discovered that you can link any actor to Kevin Bacon within 6 steps. Well, I took that a step further, and I would do this at parties or work functions or whatever, and I would be able to link any 2 actors. And my rule was, when the Kevin Bacon game first came out, it was like you can link Kevin Bacon using television. You can use not only actors but directors or whatever. But my rules was it was strictly movies, and it was strictly actors, and they had to be in the same film together, and link them within 6 steps. So what I'm going to do for you, since this is a Patreon video for Attack of the Killer podcast, I'm going to play the 6 Degrees game, but with only horror films. So linking 2 actors within 6 steps, just through horror movies. Okay? So I've written up a few names, thrown them in here. The names, there's some popular actors, A-list actors in here that you would think has never done a horror movie before. Well, guess what? There's at least one in their skeleton in their closet. There's a few classic horror icons in here as well. I try to come up with a very strange and bizarre mixed bag of names in here to try to make this a challenge. So I'm gonna play the game now. We're gonna do it in real time. So this could be extremely fun or boring as hell, because there have been times where it's taken me 20-30 minutes to link the 2 together. So hopefully I won't take that long, but there's been times where I've worked on it all night and I will not go to sleep until I get it figured out. But I always do. So 6 Degrees of Horror, I'm gonna map it out as I go. And as I map it out as I go out, I may have to make changes here and there, and that's why I'm using a dry erase board. So, without further ado, we're going to draw the names here. First name, oh my, Tony Shalhoub. So I'm going to put Tony Shalhoub on here. And you're like, Tony Shalhoub? Has he ever done a horror movie? Know of one. I know of one. I don't know if you're going to see me if I'm writing on the board, so let's move the board over here. Okay, the next name out of the jar here is going to be, son of a bitch, Nicolas Cage. Okay, Nicolas Cage. First reaction being, has he done horror films? But come on, stop and think about it. You know he has. Let's put this back so I'm actually in this. Okay, so Tony Shalhoub. Again, I only know of one horror film that he has done, and that is the remake to 13 Ghosts. Okay, so he was in 13 Ghosts. I have a couple options there. Spelling doesn't count on the dry erase board. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Probably going to go with the most obvious for right now, and that's Matthew Lillard. I'm just going to put Matt L. Okay, Matthew Lillard, who most commonly known from Scream. Okay. Let's see. If I go, well, there's a couple different routes I can go with this. I can actually make this super easy on myself, and now of course I'm blanking on names. That is the worst. Dang it. Crap. Oh, I can picture her in my head. Think of her name right now. Damn it. One of the Charmed girls. Everybody's out there screaming at me. I could tell. Oh my God. Rose McGowan. God dang, that took too long. Rose McGowan was in Scream. And Rose McGowan was in Planet Terror. Now, you can say I'm cheating or whatnot, but Planet Terror is also collectively known with Quentin Tarantino's film as one film known as Grindhouse. Now, if you're going to call BS on the fact that I'm calling Grindhouse one movie, you know, there was a Blu-ray release of it just as Grindhouse, where it was both films. And you can also look on, all those actors' IMDb page, and you can see that not only does it list, say, like Planet Terror or Death Proof, but it also lists Grindhouse. So I'm going to say Grindhouse because part of Grindhouse was the fake trailers that went along with it. So where do the fake trailers fall into place when you separate the films? Because I know, like, on Planet Terror, Machete still plays at the beginning of Planet Terror, but where does, like, Don't and She-Wolf of the SS come into play? Which is my next one, because Rose McGowan was in Grindhouse. She was in Planet Terror. She was in both of them, actually, so, there you go. And she was in both Planet Terror and Death Proof. And so was Nicolas Cage, because he played Fu Manchu in Rob Zombie's Werewolves of the SS. So there you go. Tony Shalhoub to Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard to Rose McGowan, Nicolas Cage. There you go. Boom. Done. You want me to try another one? Well, how long has this one been? 8 minutes? Let's see if I can get another one in real quick. If it takes me too long, and that took me way too long, because I knew it, I just blanked on Rose McGowan's name. So I'm taking those names out. So the next two are going to be, okay, that one fell, we'll just go with that. Kevin Bacon. Okay. And George Romero. And you're like, wait a minute. You said you can't do directors. George Romero has acted. So, George Romero. Okay, so most horror fans are going to obviously go with, oh yeah, Friday the 13th. I'm not going to do that because link any other actors from Friday the 13th to like any other horror film, other than Adrian King being in part 2. You can't. Or the first Jason, I guess he's done a lot of like stunt acting. When I say stunt acting, like somebody casting, him just because he was the first Jason in their no budget movie or low budget movie. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably go with the fact that he was in. Oh, I don't know. There's actually more choices to choose from than you would think. So for right now, I'm going to say flatliners, because you also have, oh shit, I'm going to misspell that totally. Kiefer Sullivan in it. Okay, so oh. So let me think. If I go backwards here, I could go. Oh wait. You know, sometimes, and this is nice. A lot of times I just map this out completely in my head, and I don't like. This is nice having the dry erase board to really map it out, because there have been times where I'm going in direction, I'm cooking, I'm going along, and next thing I know, all I've done is circle back to the original actor. And I could easily do that now. I almost did a couple times there. But if we're talking George Romero, and I'm not going to cheat by, like, you know, little walk-on performances, you know, like, just being in the background somewhere, like an Alfred Hitchcock moment, you know. I'm going to do where he's actually had lines. So if I do that, I think I might go with, well, we'll go with Dawn of the Dead. That gives me more options. So if we go with Dawn of the Dead, and if you remember, George Romero was working at the television station at the beginning of Dawn of the Dead, and he actually had lines. So that kind of opens the gates a little bit there. Let's see, thinking, there's Ken Foray, there's Tom Savini himself. Oh man, damn it! Circle back to Kiefer. Let's see, Lost Boys. Corey Feldman. Corey Haim. Corey Haim was in Busey. Shoot. This may be tougher than I thought. I don't know. How long has this video been? Okay. I should have just stopped at the one. We'll say Lost Boys. And from there, Feldman. Crispin. And I'm not gonna cheat at this either, where I could easily go Corey Feldman, Tom Savini, because Tom Savini did some of the stunts in like Final Chapter, which had Corey Feldman in it. Or there's moments where it's like Savini's hand, like when the hitchhiker, you know, gets the knife. It's Savini's hands playing Jason at that moment. I'm not gonna do that to you. That's way more cheating than, but this is starting to bug me. Let's see, Lost Boys. Trying to think of other horror films that Feldman has done. And I do count Gremlins in horror, so there, take that. Oh man. Oh, it's too bad I can't. Too bad I can't do like relatives, right? Like, cause then I could go. Corey Haim was in Lost Boys. Corey Haim was in Silver Bullet with Gary Busey. who had a son named Jake Busey, who was in Flatliners, who is, okay. Anyway. I gotta stop because I'm gonna get off track. I'm already off track. Shit. So if I went Corey Feldman, no. Corey Feldman was in Phoebe Cates. Oh, shit. Corey Feldman was in Gremlins. Dick Miller. Damn it. I could do it so many ways if I could use anything but horror films. Well, let's see. I'm going to go with the most obvious of Ken Foray and Dawn of the Dead. Sid Haig. Oh my God. It gets so aggravating when I figured it out because it's like, why didn't I get there a long time ago? So Dick Miller was in Chopping Mall with Barbara Crampton. Barbara Crampton was in From Beyond with Ken Foray. So you got Kevin Bacon to Keith Sullivan to Corey Feldman. Well, here, Kevin Bacon in Flatliners with Keith Sullivan. Keith Sullivan in Lost Boys with Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman in Gremlins with Dick Miller. Dick Miller in Chopping Mall with Barbara Crampton. Barbara Crampton in From Beyond with Ken Foray. And Ken Foray in Dawn of the Dead with George Romero. So those of you who watch this video, if you enjoyed this fun little thing that I can do, let me know, and I'll do more videos like this because it's always fun for me. Every once in the blue moon, I'll exercise my brain, and I'll just think of two random actors in my head and just play that in my brain for a day by myself. But it's definitely a lot of fun doing it for you guys on the dry erase board. So if you enjoyed it, let me know, and I'll do more of them. Okay. So anyway, so that's it for this video. Thanks for supporting our Patreon, and we will talk to you on the next episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast.